Hello and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to be continuing going through Coke Studios' Magical Journey series with the song Kana Yaari. Hopefully I'm pronouncing this one right. So if you guys don't know, I've gone through all of Season 14 and reacted to every song off of that playlist, and now I'm just taking a little bit of time to dive into the behind the scenes. This is interesting for me because I get to get a better understanding and a better perspective of what it takes to bring these masterpieces to life. You know, I get to see some of the set design, some of the brainstorming sessions. It makes me feel like I get to be kind of a fly on the wall of this room of all these musicians to come together and try to collectively just push the artistic narrative of a song forward without any, you know, outside distractions, without any, oh, we're trying to be cool here, we're trying to do whatever. It really is just all about the art with these people, which is something I deeply, deeply respect. So yeah, these are fun. I wasn't expecting to like these. I wasn't expecting to really get into them, but yeah, you guys were right. I was wrong. I definitely need to be spending some time. So I think I'm gonna go through all of Season 14 of these Magical Journeys. Yeah, so if you guys are new around here, please consider liking and subscribing and join me as I learn about what went into creating these masterpieces. All right, so what do you say I pull this screen up here? Beautiful. Let's get into it, shall we?
Coke Studio, Season 14.
This was an interesting song because it's kind of negative. It's almost about a toxic relationship, it feels. Or the grass is always greener on the other side kind of vibe to it.
आप पूछें कुछ मैं फिर बताऊंगा।
एवा ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल है कैमरे के आगे बनस्बत की है, लेकिन ये मुझे लगता है
ये बहुत कंफर्टेबल है। अभी पता नहीं इसको क्या चल रहा है। इसकी वीडियोस देखी आपने? एक्शन करता है भाई। कौन सा वो गाना है? वो कौन सा गाना है? मर्ची गनु कंग्रे ऐसे कर रही है। मर्ची गनु कंग्रे।
Oh my god.
यानी
She's kind of a spitfire.
यारी करते हैं फिर गद्दारी करते हैं, धोखा देते हैं। इश्क का तो नाम और निशानी नहीं है ना कहीं पे। मैं सामने वाले को कह रहा हूँ कि इस तरह इश्क नहीं होता जिस तरह आप कर रहे हो।
दोस्ती इस तरह नहीं होती है ना, मतलब जो आप निभा रहे हो इसका मतलब ये है।
Yeah, it definitely had that vibe of like a it definitely had that vibe of you know, a toxic friendship or a toxic love interest or whatever. And it was kind of cool to hear them go back and forth. And honestly, I was not expecting this lady to start rapping. That kind of threw me by surprise. But yeah, it was pretty wild.
और फिर मैं आके जवाब दे रही हूँ कि ऐसा नहीं ऐसा है।
It's like an argument. Or more of a conversation. But this is where it starts to get cool. You add a guy like this with like traditional instruments. I forget the name of this thing. Hopefully he goes over it. They've been pretty good about that in the past. You know, you add more traditional aspects to it, and then it's like it's something completely different, you know? It just like, it's like their own personal touch. Like, hey, okay, we're doing this thing that can relate to anybody in the world, but we're gonna add a bit of our culture to it to really put our stamp of like, hey, this is us, this is Pakistan, this is our artistry, and here's what we can do. And yeah, I think it's kind of cool. God, what is that thing called?
When Zulfi bhai called me up, he's like, यार समझ के बलोची गाना है लेकिन पॉप गाना है।
Balochi song.
बजना चाहिए, no? You're sitting somewhere और ये गाना वहाँ होना चाहिए। मुझे नाचना है इस गाने पे। अब तेरी सरदर्द है। Okay. Got it, noted.
Okay, so Balochi must be like a style of music. I know that there's like a ton of different languages and dialects and stuff in Pakistan, so it doesn't surprise me, but I'm not sure I understand it. It sounds kind of folky.
सर ये क्या बजा रहे हैं और उसको क्या
ये दम्बूरा है सर।
Dambura, thank you, dude. That was driving me insane. Dambura. Damn. Okay. Cool.
ये बलूचिस्तान का है, कल्चरल इंस्ट्रूमेंट है हमारा। ये वादरी बलोची में है, कैफी भाई ने लिखा है, यारी गदारी। और हमारा बलोची है सुलेमानी बलोची है, जो सिबी में डेरा बुक्टी में
की हो गई गवादरी मुकरानी। अच्छा, मुझे एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे कि आप लोग की बलोची अलग अलग है। मुझे नहीं पता था ये बात।
बहुत अलग है बलूची में, असल में बहुत ऐसे हैं कि अलग अलग है। बलूचिस्तान का बलूची प्योर बलूची है, उसको हमारे भी जो यारी के कुछ रहने वाले वो भी सही से नहीं समझते।
That's kind of a fun little Easter egg. I don't, maybe not even Easter egg. That might be the wrong thing to do. But again, they're slipping bits and pieces of their culture, bits and pieces of themselves into this music. And it would have been easy to, you know, maybe write the song in a language that might be more palatable to the rest of the world or whatever. But that's not what these guys are about. That's not about what they're doing. They really want to share their heritage, you know, what, you know, that means to them with everybody else, like just in a more modern and creative way. Like at its core, this almost feels like kind of like a chill folk song, but there's elements of like pop and there's elements of hip hop and there's elements of more modern day sound design mixed together with like this, what I'm assuming would be more traditional styles of music, Bolchi or however you say it. But again, I guess I can't really comment too much on that because I don't know much about that style of music to really pull reference from it, but I'm just going off of what they're saying right now. But still, it's just very cool. It's just something you don't see very often from artists that are trying to write newer music nowadays. You know what I mean? It's all about, hey, what are the trends? What was popular last year? Let's hop on that, you know, whereas something like this feels like it's a little bit more, you know, I think, I don't want to say groundbreaking, but, you know, I could say groundbreaking. You know, it's something that feels like more personal and more real, but at the same time, it's just done in a way that is just, it's just new, you know, which is just something you don't see very often nowadays.
She's just so energetic in a way that I haven't seen before, and also just the way that she embodies her identity, not only as a woman, but like with what she chooses to wear, and how that contrasts with the energy of her music. I think is just so incredible.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that like headdress thing is called. I don't know. I think I've heard different things that it's called or whatever. But it was interesting to see her like in that traditional like gown type thing, you know, just only showing her eyes and rapping. That was just something I haven't seen a lot of, you know, or actually that was probably the first time I've ever really even seen that, you know. Obviously I've seen people, you know, here, I'm from Boston, if you guys don't know, like in Boston every once in a while, I'll see somebody that'll be wearing like that traditional gown thing. And it's always kind of interested me, but at the same time, like I never approach those people because I don't know, they always just seem like so to themselves and everything. And as much as I'd like to go and just like ask them some questions about it, you know, obviously from a respectful point of view, like not like why are you wearing that? Why are you only showing your eyes? You know, like, but like more of like just like a curiosity thing. Like, what does this mean to you? And I don't know. It was just it's interesting to see. You know, I like as a Westerner, especially after like, you know, like the last 20 years in what happened here in America. You know, a lot of us kind of see, I think it's called burqa. I think that's what it's called. A lot of us like see that and we see it and we think like, oh no, this is a bad thing, or this could be associated with some sort of terror or something like that. And unfortunately, that's just ingrained into a lot of us due to the media and due to like shock value and due to a lot of different things. And obviously, that's not the case for every single person, you know, that does that and wears those things. But there's a certain part of us. I just want to be honest and real with everybody here. You know, there's a certain part of us that kind of see that sometimes, and it's like, oh shoot, and it kind of scares us or takes us back. And it's a shame because like it even like affected me where I didn't go and talk to those people or and say anything to them. But I don't think they wanted anything to do with me anyway. They weren't paying much attention to me. But I remember I've always been really curious about it. I've always been like, you know, is it? I don't know. Like I hear like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I guess I don't know how I feel about it, but I guess it also doesn't matter how I feel about it. It really just depends on how they feel about it. Sorry, that was just a whole tangent about that whole thing. But like, I'm just trying to like, I'm going into these reactions as somebody that's a complete outsider. You know, I'm just a everyday, regular, average American dude, you know, in this kind of culture and a lot of these sort of, you know, even like style choices and everything is very foreign to me. It's not something I grew up with. I don't really have many friends that wear that. I got Muslim friends, but most of them are dudes. So I don't know. Maybe I could just ask them about it. I don't know. Or maybe I can convince one of you guys just to talk to me about it and maybe just like share some of like, I don't know, the cultural importance or why you would wear something like that. But anyway, back to Coke Studio, back to this whole thing. You know, when I saw her come out and start rapping with that and her kind of energy and her kind of flair and her kind of like spitfire type of attitude, it almost kind of took me back. It was a shock of both things. I'm like, oh, hey, there's a woman wearing that burqa thing. I think it's what it's called. And then, but at the same time, she's being very aggressive about what she's singing and she's feeling very confident about what she's doing. When a lot of times, like when I see people wearing those things, it almost comes across like when I see them, like their head are kind of down, they're almost like a little bit mousy. At least that's how it looks, but I don't know if they're being mousy. I can only see their fucking eyes, you know? So I don't know. I guess it's just kind of confusing to me. But I don't know. I want to be respectful about it, but at the same time, like I want to be honest that there is something from a Westerner that when they see something like that, we automatically think a certain thing. And that's not necessarily that they're terrorists, obviously. But like that there's some sort of like, I don't know, they have like, somebody has some sort of hold on them or somebody's making them do something. And there's some sort of like, almost like even like slavery involved in that. But I don't, so it's a weird dichotomy. It's a weird thing, you know, when you see this kind of contrast of complete confidence and somebody just owning the song and just like having a beautiful rhythmic flow to their voice, but at the same time wearing something like that, you know, it's a bit jarring, I guess. And I don't know, maybe this video will get me in a ton of trouble, but I'm really just trying to be 100% honest and respectful at the same time about this whole thing.
Beautiful. Best man alive. इसका मतलब बताया सबको, बताओ ना।
दोस्त जो है वो एटीट्यूड में ना रहे तो उस दोस्ती का क्या फायदा?
See what I mean? Do you see what I mean? She's a spitfire. She has such a personality and such a strong presence, even, you know, wearing, I think it's called a burqa. I'm sorry if it's not called that. It's just wild. You know, it's just wild. It's such a contrast from everything that I've seen and everything that I've known. And that's such a true saying as well. What a wonderful actual realization of self. Like these people are so self-aware and so grounded. It's almost kind of refreshing. You know, I feel like in today's society, everything is so like, hey, check out my Instagram or check out, you know, what I'm saying here or doing whatever. And we're all kind of like putting on a facade for people. And, you know, and these artists are over here. It's like, no, let's just talk about some real stuff, some real things that are happening, some real actual feelings that we have towards each other. And it's absolutely true. You know, you're not going to, if you have a friend that you're just constantly agreeing with and you're nodding and making polite small talk and conversation with, they're probably more of an acquaintance and they're probably not a friend. A friend is going to tell you like it is, you know, it's going to tell you when you're doing something stupid. It's going to kind of like have a little bit of attitude every once in a while, but in their heart, they have their best interest in mind for you. She's absolutely right. This lady's an absolute spitfire. I like her a lot.
इन दिनों में मुझे गिले करने चाहिए, तुम जो गिले कर रहे हो। ये तो प्यारी बात है। फायदा ही नहीं, नीवा इधर धीरे बत्ती रुका, लेकिन अब कुछ बोलने का फायदा ही नहीं है। क्योंकि अब तो फायदा नहीं है, हमारी दोस्ती तो खत्म हो रही है ना, तुम मुझे ताने दे रहे हो, मैं तुम्हें ताने दे रही हूँ। वता मुतमईन कमा वतवती दिल पृष्ठ, मतलब खुद को ही मैंने मुतमईन किया और खुद का ही दिल तोड़ा।
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's about being a fly in the wall and just kind of seeing like the creative, you know, cloud just kind of all coming together. Everybody putting their input and telling the stories about what these lines and these lyrics and everything mean. I was so wrong with the Magical Journey. This is actually really, really cool. Yeah.
इससे पूछें आप कैफी से
जो ये रैप करती है उसका जो मेरा जवाब ये है कि आप खलीज में रहने वाले हो, मैं लियारी का रहने वाला हूँ। आप अच्छी नींद सो जाते हो, मैं नफसियाती हो जाता हूँ। लाइट ही नहीं है। नफसियाती का वर्ड तुमने उसमें यूज किया। ये लाइन बताओ क्या? मरचांतों में जाज़े वा चमने न चारे तो वश्य वा बेवफ्साते माँ भाई मरीज़ दा नफसियाते।
This is the beauty of the language.
No, look at the flexibility.
Oh yeah.
मैं बर्बाद हम कितने दफा
खलीज है तवे आबाद हमारा बर्बाद। आप खलीज हो, आप आबाद हो।
It's a grass is always greener on the other side kind of scenario.
तौबा करता हूँ, तौबा करता हूँ। बल्कि एक चक्कर नहीं, 100 बार। हाँ। और ये प्यार नहीं, पहले वाला प्यार अब नहीं है।
That's the finish. That's the end.
I love it. I love it. I love it when it all comes together like that, and everybody in the room is just like ecstatic about it. They know that they've captured something special. They know that they've done something original, and that they're kind of, I don't know if I want to say paving the way. Maybe I should. I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about this style of music, but like they know that they've done something incredible here, and just like the excitement and the energy that they feed off of each other is just it's really cool to see. I'm starting to recognize these people too. Like this guy over here. God, I'm so bad with these freaking names. I'm sorry. He's the guy who does Go. I've touched into some of his. I believe it's the guy. I've touched into some of his music as well, some of his solo projects, and I think I'm actually doing an album reaction as well. I want to check out some of his stuff. If he's the guy I'm thinking of.
The work that's happening here and the performers, Kathy and Eva, I'm just huge fans of theirs.
खुश हैं आप? मतलब ये देखे ना, from Yaari, Eva, Sibbi से हमारे बुक्ति भाईज आए हुए हैं. An original Balochi song in a sound that is, for the loss of words, global. I wish के the whole world, सारी दुनिया Balochi सुने और गाए.
What a really nice way to say it too. Exalfi. Jesus Christ, I'm so bad with these names. He's trying to create something global, but at the same time something that's grounded in something personal. You know, he's trying to create a sound that everybody in the world can enjoy, but doing it with Pakistani flair in traditional instruments, and that mixed together with more modern sound design. I love this guy's vibe. I really do. There's such kindness and warmth in this room right now. These guys are just in their elements. Oh, now we're gonna get into the set design. This is pretty cool. They make these massive like sets. It really like comes to life.
I just wanted to be the most pristine recording, live recording that anyone has ever heard. ये attempt है हमारा.
क्यों में कुछ नहीं है. Sound check चल रहा है हमारा.
You can really tell too in like the music video itself, like as they're walking in and out of rooms and coming out of different areas and stuff, that like you're experiencing something, that feels more real, more tangible. Things are actually around you. It doesn't feel like it's just like, some artist dancing around in front of a green screen. It feels like there's a moving, living set around them.
आगे हो सकता है थोड़ा. कर लिए माइक की. All sounds great. अभी मेरी फिटबिट ने मुझे बताया कि पता नहीं कितने स्टेप्स हो गए हैं. Sonically सिर्फ नहीं, हम visual को भी इतनी importance दे रहे हैं, because that's how you narrate stories. So now we are not just capturing the musicians performing, we are capturing their narrative, their story, the song's narrative.
The sort of upbeat, joyous vibe was already kind of speaking to me, and I wanted a video that was as dynamic as the song.
There are very few things that excite me, and this was something that really excited me with the set design.
It's beautiful. Look how massive this set is.
I think the biggest challenge for this thing was it's a mechanical set. It's a set that needs to move. The walls need to move. To come up with a set that was modular, that looked like small spaces connected together, but everybody's in a different space. Or aisa the walls remove hoti jati hain, and then everybody's actually in the same space vibing together.
This is insane, bro.
And then when you see the entirety of it, when it's all open, it has to feel like one.
Because it's a Balochi song, so I thought the set would be very traditional or us tarike ka, but this is very cool. This is like very contemporary or very colorful.
The camera team with the art team needs to be in sync, the light team needs to be in sync. So everything was very meticulously pre-planned.
पीछे 4 लोग खड़े हैं, उन्हें दीवार पूरी खींचनी है टाइम पे, पर हम बोल भी नहीं सकते क्योंकि रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है सब कुछ. So everything is I hope वो कर देगा टाइम पे.
Oh man.
Introducing you to the makeup team.
Like they could have phoned this in, you know? There's just such detail in everything.
Kind of. कपड़ों का वेट कर रहे हैं. A lot of chaos.
I've never seen it in orange before.
A lot of madness, but we'll get this going sooner or later. Sooner, not later.
Who's ready? Can you tell me?
I will show you.
We are good to go.
We're good.
मुझे अच्छा ही नहीं लगता. मैं नकाब हटाती हूँ, मुझसे रैप होता ही नहीं है, सच बात बताऊँ तो. मुझे बस अब एक आदत सी हो गई है.
So the look we went for today is really, really cool. We spoke to Jamal, who's the director. He had this amazing idea, lovely colors. And so the brief was to use like kind of burnt oranges, teals and stuff like that. I wish Jamal all the best.
Jamal is right behind you, by the way. You can.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. Is like all the colors are so vivid and like in bright in a way, but at the same time, like they're almost like pastels of the colors, or almost muted versions of those colors. So it still feels very soft and very warm and welcoming in the eye.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I heard all of that.
Great color design.
नीचे से undercut किया हुआ है. He wanted to bring out his own curls. I think he looks really cool.
He does.
Especially Eva, I think she just came in and she said, मुझे पता है, कोई मसला ही नहीं है, मैंने ये करना है, हो जाएगा.
Yeah, looking very cool.
पक्की बात है.
Yeah.
कोक स्टूडियो के लिए जब मुझे जुल्फी भाई ने कॉल की तो उन्होंने बोला कि आप मेरे साथ काम करना चाहती हैं. मैंने कहा प्रोजेक्ट क्या है, तो उन्होंने बोला कोक स्टूडियो का. मैंने कहा यार भाई कौन नहीं करना चाहेगा. मतलब बिगेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म है ये, तो इंशाल्लाह सब अच्छा होगा, यही उम्मीद है.
कुछ नहीं होगा. This is your mic. ठीक है. Now it's your responsibility.
You own this thing now, man.
मिल गया.
ओके, माइक मिल गया.
Kami helping with the set.
Getting paid some extra money for this, man. Why leave the work, dude? You know it's Corona.
कैफी was also very very enthusiastic. उसकी एनर्जी बड़ी अच्छी है, तो उसने कहा हाँ आप बताएं, हम कर दें.
कल मेरी ज़िंदगी का सबसे बड़ा दिन है. मेरा गाना रिकॉर्ड होने वाला है कोक में. बहुत अच्छा भी लग रहा है, बहुत नर्वस भी हूँ.
Tilt down करें, tilt down. Okay, roll camera, roll sound, and action.
हर सिंगर का एक ख्वाब होता है कि मैं बड़े स्टूडियो में जाऊँ. तो सिंगर का ऐसे और क्या खुशी हो सकता है उसको.
It's such an upbeat and fun track, बड़ा infectious किस्म का. एकदम से आप सुनते हो और वो आपको याद हो जाता है. तो अगर आपको लैंग्वेज की समझ ना भी है, आपको गाने की फील ज़रूर आएगी.
पहले भी कोक स्टूडियो देखा था, अब यहाँ आके देख रहा हूँ. ये बिल्कुल अलग है, मुख्तलिफ है, लेकिन करेंगे ज़रूर.
What an experience that must have been for them. Okay, all right, let me kill this over here and let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah, dude, I like it, man. I love the personalities. I love actually hearing everybody share their enthusiasm, bringing different things to the party, talking about the importance of the meaning of certain lines, the structures of these songs, and then learning about the set design and even some of the people that are more behind the scenes. You know, as I've said a couple times in these reactions, this is an entire communicative experience. You know, it's not just like one guy with a paintbrush just doing everything and just like having, 30 people at his disposal. It feels like Exafi really wants to embrace the talent that he's working with. You know, he really wants to get the best of everybody and have them have their own input into it as well, which is awesome, which is great. It's good to see, yeah, but overall it's definitely very beautiful. I think I agree with what they're saying about the music and how it feels, hearing it and not really understanding the lyrics at first and just kind of like listening to the rhythmic patterns and the melodic values of this song. I think it is. I think he Exafi set out to do something special here, and he did. He wanted to make something that was global but still rooted, that was still a very honest piece of music as well, something that anybody can kind of relate to, and that is, you know, the toxic relationship of relationships sometimes, and how it's important. It's important to disagree sometimes. It's important to kind of, you know, give a little bit of attitude from time to time. I absolutely love the personalities of the performers. The smiles were so infectious, like just seeing everybody in their element. And as this song started to kind of come together, and you can just see the excitement in everybody from different angles of this thing, really just starting to see the big picture of what this is going to be, and to see the looks in their faces that's coming together is just priceless to me. Yeah, these magical journeys are pretty good. They're pretty good. Coke Studios is one of those YouTube channels where like stuff gets recommended to me and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that, or I don't know if I want to do a video for that, and I keep finding myself just digging myself deeper and deeper into this. And I've done other stuff too. I've done like Nescap basements and whatnot, but Coke Studio is definitely special to me. So anyway, yeah, this was a great video. It was awesome to see all the things that I just mentioned, and I'm gonna go through as many of them as I can today, and then next week I'll probably continue and just do all 14 songs, and I don't know what I'll move on to then. You know, it depends on how I'm feeling or what's up. Anyway, if you guys haven't already and you enjoyed hanging out for a little bit, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.